Good morning. Good morning. All right. So, today we're going to be telling a little story about having too much pride and how that can lead to bad things coming your way. Let me see if I can. There we go. Okay. So, there was a woman in ancient Greece whose name was Arachne. And she was really, really excellent at weaving tapestries on her loom. She had the ability to make very detailed and colorful, just beautiful works of art. And everybody's like, oh, that's amazing. You're doing such a great job, Arachne. Your stuff is so great. And so eventually, after this had gone on a little while, then she started to think, well, I am great. As a matter of fact, I might even be the best ever. But how does one prove that they're the best ever? Like, what's the option, right? Well, normally you have to challenge. You have to find whoever was considered the best up until that point and challenge would be like, if I can do better than you, then I'll be the best ever, right? Normally that's how that works. Like if somebody's got a record, you try to beat that record. Okay, well the problem with this plan was that the person that she chose to challenge was the goddess Athena, who had actually invented the spindle and was known also for her excellent work with tapestries and things like that. Athena is the goddess of wisdom, military strategy. So anything like that that's like a pattern, like where you would learn how to do a thing and make a pattern and make a beautiful picture and stuff like that. I mean, she was, top notch at, okay? So eventually Arachne gets it in her head that she's going to challenge Athena. And she says, I have been told that I am the best tapestry weaver, and so I want to prove it. So I challenge you, Athena, to a tapestry making contest, and we'll see who makes the best tapestry. So the day comes, and Arachne is not happy with the idea of just making a pretty tapestry, something that people would think was beautiful, maybe with like some flowers embroidered on it, or like a landscape or something. Or like a beautiful design of color. She's not happy with that idea. So she decides to go all out for this competition. So when she begins weaving her tapestry, she actually makes it into almost like a storybook. Like when stories are told in pictures, like we've talked about with hieroglyphics and cave paintings and things like that. That's what she did with this tapestry. So she starts weaving this elaborate tapestry. Only the stories that it's telling are making fun of the gods and goddesses. They're like, oh, and then this one did this scandalous thing, and then she did this terrible thing, and blah, blah, blah. So she's got this whole storyline coming out that's not very complimentary of the gods and goddesses. And I'm not really sure why she didn't see the error in that plan. But she didn't. So she's hard at work. Okay? Makes this whole tapestry. Gets to the end, and it's like, ha! Beat that, Athena. So Athena, having invented the spindle, and which was used for spinning wool and other fibers down into thread to use to make tapestries. So having invented the literal first step in all of this, and being very great at all the other steps in making a tapestry, but also being a goddess, she took her supplies. Hold on, this was written really well in this book. But then Athena stood with her giant spindle on a hilltop. She gathered the rosy fleece of the sunset and the first blue and silver strands of starlight and wove scenes of the world's creation. She flung her starry brocades, that's a woven fabric. So once she made the fabric, she flung the brocades across the rafters of heaven so that the whole sky was hung with her handiwork, and the spectators fell on their knees and worshipped. Okay? So Arachne has basically woven gossip tales into her tapestry, and Athena weaves the entire sky using sunset and starlight and other beautiful colors that show up at the end of the day. Yeah, so needless to say, Arachne was soundly defeated, and she was devastated. I don't know why she didn't see that coming, but she didn't. And she was so sad to the point where she was like, if I'm not the best weaver, I don't know what my identity is even anymore. And so she's having this real existential crisis, and she's getting kind of desperate, and Athena has pity on her. Because she realizes that, this person is devastated, and that, she'll probably die soon if she doesn't have a purpose, if she doesn't have something to save her from all of this despair. So Athena has pity on her and turns her into a spider, which is an animal that spends all day spinning but doesn't brag about it. So Athena wanted to make sure that she learned her lesson, but she didn't want Arachne to feel like, she couldn't exist anymore just because she wasn't the best at making tapestries. So that's where we get the word, that's where the root word comes from for arachnid, and the words that we use for spiders is it's named after Arachne, who challenged Athena, and when she lost, was turned into a spider. Alright, so that is how pride comes before a fall. If you guys will do the same thing we've been doing all week, comment below on the thread and let me know what you thought about it. Favorite part. I don't know. Do you think Arachne should have even tried to challenge Athena? Do you think, like I do, that she should have figured out probably what was going to happen and not gone through with the challenge? I mean, what do you think about it? What do you think, what do you think you might have done if you were in such a situation? What kind of tapestry would you have made? Would you have made, all of these gossip and rumor stories and scandalous stories? Would you have done that, or would you have settled for just a picture? I mean, talk to me. Give me some feedback. Tell me, what you thought about the story, and maybe what you would have done, or maybe how you feel about Athena or Arachne, or the fact that she ended up a spider. I don't know. Tell me something. Tell me something good. All right? All right. Well, I will see you guys later. Have a great and wonderful day.